This is Dorothy.
Now see, now right on behind here, it's all kind of mining going on behind here, behind this first mountain. See the flat mountain yonder? Behind that's all gone. And they're hitting this hard big time up here now, on both sides of the road here, all the way into Artie.
Now, are those owned by Massey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massey's the only one on this river right now through here. Massey's got all this. Now you can really travel through these and sing the West Virginia Hills, can't you?
People ride around and they look at pictures from the coal company and they see things like this, and they think it's these beautiful West Virginia mountains. So tell us what's on the other side of there.
Valley fields and mountaintop removal.
Valley fields and barren mountains where they've cut them off.
Cut them off.
Blowed them off.
For miles. And it's all close to a cemetery there that they're trying to save from the mountaintop removal and the blasting and all. And you, as you said, you have to see it to believe what it looks like.
And this is a valley field. This is where they take and they blast off the mountain and they fill in the hollow over top of the streams that runs in the valley, and they cover it up. You're looking at the face of it now, but it travels for miles back behind that, miles of stream that they have covered up with the overburden, they call it, of mountaintop removal mining.
In 1971, I introduced the first bill to abolish strip mining, and in 1974, somebody from Wyoming introduced a amendment to the Surface Mining Control Act to authorize mountaintop removal. That was 32 years ago. After it passed, I decided this bill is supposed to regulate strip mining. Well, how can you regulate strip mining if you authorize mountaintop removal? I told my colleagues, I said, you people are writing a bill here which is not going to work. What do you mean it's not going to work? It's a tough bill. But wait till the coal companies get their pocketbooks out. They're going to buy off the politicians. They're going to buy off the people who appoint the bureaucracy. That's exactly what's happened. That's exactly what's happened.
The buffer zone provisions of the regulations prohibit any disturbance within 100 feet of streams. Currently, we now have the idiocy of the Office of Surface Mining trying to declare, yes, the buffer zone means no disturbance within 100 feet of streams except for the headwaters of the stream. You can fill in the valley. How they come up with that, I don't know, but this is the letter I wrote to OSM about those provisions, where I quoted what Chief Federal Circuit Court Judge Charles Hayden II had to say about valley fills and the buffer zone. He said, when valley fills are permitted in intermittent and perennial streams, they destroy those stream segments. The normal flow and gradient of the stream is now buried under millions of cubic yards of excess spoil waste material, an extremely adverse effect. If there are fish, they cannot migrate. If there is any life form that cannot acclimate to life deep in a rubble pile, it is eliminated. No effect on related environmental values is more adverse than obliteration. Under a valley fill, the water quality of the stream becomes zero. Because there is no stream, there is no water quality. Now, it just can't be said any better than that. And how this ruling could be overturned by an appeals court is just boggles the imagination.
They say they're supposed to put this back to the right contour that it was before they tore it up. Now, if you look at it, it's nothing but barren, brown land. Nothing will grow on it. It has no vegetation there, and you can see the runoff valley that they made for the water to run off. So when it rains and you get a heavy rain on it, it comes down in all at once.
Now this right here, when it was flooded in 2001, there was an impoundment that broke loose up at Booger Holler, and these people sued them, but I don't know if they ever got any money out of it or not.
The Supreme Court decided to break up the flood lawsuits by watersheds, and they selected 3 judges to hear the cases. Judge Armbrecht was hearing the trials on the Upper Coal River watershed, and in some breach of logic, he refused to hear the case. He said that it didn't have, I don't know, ground standing or what have you. I have photographs without question show where the water came from and how it got loose and what it did on its way down the valley. So, I mean, I'm astonished and appalled.
The fill had slipped loose and went down in the settlement pond and created a 10-foot wave of water. I was up there that day talking to people about what had happened the day before. It was July the 8th, 2001 is when that happened. They said that the creek was really flooded bad. Said it was so high that there were oak trees coming down, standing straight up down the stream. And then on top of that came a 10-foot wave of water, like a tidal wave, where that slip into the pond had gushed out that water and sent it down the holler.
They build on the top of these mountains what engineers like to call drainage ditches. I call them moats. And water would build up behind these moats and then would blow out. Water dammed up on top of a mountain is a very ugly thing, and when it breaks loose, you end up with a tidal wave.
And those houses were plastered again, these trees over here on the road side of the roadway. It just completely washed them out. A lot of the people who had just gotten out of bed, and they had to rush out of their houses to try to get to high ground. It came so fast. A boy called the fellow that lives up in here when they were having high waters and that he had better come home. That same boy was the one that drowned, helping a lady out of a church, and they both drowned.
Sister-in-law that lives here, her daughter drowned in that flood. She lived on down the holler here. It was her and the little neighbor's boy. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible, in Revelation. He will bring to one those wrong in the earth.
That's what mountaintop removal brings, is floods, and that's another way in which it destroys the community. I mean, you know, it floods the schools, you know, and all kinds of schools got wiped out and houses got wiped out and people got flooded, and you know, their life savings, you know, I mean, everything they had was in their house, and it was gone just like that.
But you know, to raise a kid down there in southern West Virginia, you know, and you don't have your own home place anymore. What does a home mean to somebody? You know, you and I are sitting on the front porch here, and there's a million memories, and the heritage of family is here with us, and we think